So we're here with Mike Milano, who is our 3D artist, and let's start with history stuff. You have a website, which I can't believe you managed to snag the domain name on that one. So tell people, tell people about your website.
Well, my website is cgmodeling.com, and I remember I actually got an email to buy it when I was in school for $500, and I wrote the guy. It's like, I'm in school, I don't have $500. I could give you like $200. Mm-hmm. And he said, sure. And I said, are you a real person? Are you going to rob me? He said, no, you get the domain name. So, yeah. And I've had that up. And before that, it was cgmodeling.net. But like a little bit of traffic. But I just like being able to post my stuff online.
Yeah, well, your portfolio is really impressive. I look forward to sharing some of that with the community, which I don't think they've seen certain 3D models of our characters, like the Strim. Mm. Yeah. So let's go history. How did you become an artist? What was your inspiration there?
So, well, I always drew growing up. I remember just drawing. My teachers used to yell at me in school. I'd be taking a test and I'd have like Superman on the back. So that's how that started. And then I started using Photoshop and Flash in undergrad, and then in SCAD in 2006, I went and started doing 3D art. And once I started doing modeling, so this is amazing. I went for animation, but I think I definitely took more towards the modeling. I was like, I can make a face. This is amazing.
So how did you end up like working in the industry? What was your first industry job, history stuff you want to share about that?
I remember out of school, well, while I was in school, I must have applied to, 100 places. And it's always, you make contacts with a company. And eventually I started working for a company called Kuma Reality Games in Manhattan. That was my first job out of school, and it was a great job. I remember I was out of school, and I remember borrowing money from my mom to take the train. I would take the train from Poughkeepsie to New York City. So that's the full length of the Northern Metro. And I did that for about 6 months. Again, the job was great. Everyone was nice, and they taught me a lot of stuff. I didn't even know how to make a shortcut to a folder on the computer. It's just little things like that you pick up. And about 6 months, and then I went down south. I missed the South. I missed Savannah and everything. So I found a job in Charleston, and I was there for 3 years before working for City State Entertainment.
Nice. So you've always been remote, generally for us?
For the past year, I was in the office for at least a year and a half, close to 2 years.
Okay. So
I was there for. Oh, sorry. I was there for the whole the March on Oz.
Okay. Did you end up doing animation for that as well?
No, Scott did all the animation. I think Sandra jumps around. She's the artist who jumps around pretty much on everything. So I know she did some animation.
Cool. Yeah. So what's the pipeline like for you? You get stuff from the concept artist, and then you take me through the process of working.
So it'll go from concept, and then in ZBrush, I'll do the sculpting and a texture pass. And then when that gets approved, sometimes we'll have a lot of backs and forths. And then the retopology, which is necessary, not my favorite part, but I enjoy all the modeling. But if I had to pick and choose, I wouldn't be doing so much retopology, but you get that for game ready to get game resolution, and then it'll be UVing, and then baking, and then rigging. And then I think right now sometimes Michelle will do a second texture pass on the characters in body paint.
What do you think about ZBrush versus Maya? Like, I've heard really good things.
I love ZBrush. I mean, I'm lucky finally, this is my first time actually doing it professionally for work, but like every night now, especially if I'm stressed or any mood I'm in, I'll ZBrush at least a little bit at night. Sometimes I'll get up early and I'll just ZBrush whatever. Sometimes I have a project in mind. Sometimes I'll just start with a sphere and just start going.
Nice. ZBrush
so I love
is
it. Yeah, it's a lot less constraints. You're not moving vertices, you're sculpting as opposed to, moving the edge or moving the vert. So I enjoy it.
So what are you working on right now?
Right now we are working on the Golem Giant, which I believe is because we finished the Frost Giant a couple of weeks ago, or over a month ago. It's been a while. For more giants.
Excellent. So what stuff do you think the community would like to know? That, games you play, fun side things, do you play the flute and dance? I mean, whatever.
I did play the clarinet at elementary school.
Did you really?
I sat next to the flutes, yes.
You're like, I was in proximity to the flutes.
Yeah.
So, do you play? Are you a gamer?
I do play. I think my time as far as, staying up late is much more well spent in ZBrush.
That's right.
But I do get caught up in games. I love March on Oz. I love games like that. March on Oz wasn't so simple, but I like when it's not so complicated, and I like single player challenging yourself. But I do I love the art in MMOs. It's great how everything's gone up and the specs and everything. So I'm excited for our launch. I'm excited to see the characters running around.
Yes. How do you feel about that when you see the animations that come out? This is the Defragger running.
Oh, I love it because it's just so funny because pretty much what I'm doing is sometimes I'll do a pose for a quick render just to give it some life. For the most part, it's just in bind pose. It's either, just standing there or kind of like a motorcycle position. After a while, like, especially the more back and forth we have, the longer it'll take. So I'm like, I don't want to look at him like this anymore. Then Scott will send me, Scott's a good guy. He'll send me, he'll even send me progress animations. Like, hey, I'm just doing some run cycles you want to see. And I'm like, yes, I love it. I love seeing him run around. It's awesome.
Nice.
Scott definitely breathes some life into them.
In our Kickstarter tier, there's a point where people will get miniatures of different races and stuff like that. Are you looking forward to that future at all? Is there something you're thinking about?
You mean miniatures as far as physical 3D models?
Yes.
Oh, that's my favorite thing ever. I will die when that happens. That's pretty. Everything I sculpt, I don't. It's it can get kind of pricey, but everything, especially personally, is prepped for 3D printing, just in case. And
just in case.
That's like making toys.
It's kind of true. Excellent.
Toy maker.
Okay. Well, thank you, Michael. And people will see you behind the scenes, I think, a lot in the game. And now they've seen your face, too, so they can associate you with the excellent characters that we're seeing.
Thank you. It was nice meeting you in person.